Hi there, everyone. This is Bethany Gagne, founder of Numinous, the organization that sponsors the Resident Peaceful Cities Project. And this video is to update you with 4 points as far as what's going on with the Louisville Resident Peace Project and then also the Legion of Light. And there are 2 opportunities that if anyone knows anything, we could really use your support. First thing is we finish the study at the end of July, and then what we do is we wait 3 months. So that's August, September, October, and we wait so that we see what happens with the data for the following 3 months of the study, and then we go in and do the comparison. We could really use some input as far as anybody who knows anybody and how police data is gathered, as far as what is the time limit as far as people submitting records. Last year we had this situation where after the first of the year, all this new data was dumped, and so it looked as though we changed our numbers, but it was really just because more data got inputted into the system. So anybody who could help with that would be super. The other thing too is, regarding smog. I've always wanted to study smog for a longest time. Any of you who are familiar with cloud popping with meditation, the idea of studying smog was always very interesting to me. Suzanne de Gregorio told me about how Louisville is in a valley. So there's some air quality control issues. So I've been given a website. I could really use somebody's help to help me pull the data because I don't quite understand it. And if we could hand it to Dr. Reinhold in some spreadsheets, she can analyze it much quicker. And so I always like to do that, but I'm not familiar with the Louisville area, so I can't do it entirely by myself. Anybody who wants to help with that, that'd be super. Please email. Okay, now regarding the Legion of Light, because the idea was that we were going to send meditations out every day for the Legion of Light. Now, who knew that apparently sending out texts every day and emails every day, I mean, I've had the email issue happen in the past, but together, those 2 together, and then sending texts every day apparently got us ensnared in a bunch of spam filter regulation stuff, blah, blah, blah. I was trying to fix it and rectify it. I wasn't doing a good job. I finally hired someone, his name Henry, to help me with it. And finally, because he knew what he was doing, he was able to bird dog it all and kind of extract all of the different variables that were impacting it. And finally, that's cleared. So ideally, what's going to happen is I'll be able to actually send. I haven't even been able to send, really. I could have, but it would have been piecemeal, and it just would have been more confusing. So I waited until everything was settled. I tested it today. Should be fine. Okay, so now that being said, this goes to the third item. And the third item is that we have not received... I've asked many people many times, and you're all beautiful people, and I know people want to submit meditations and they have good intentions, and then they don't. So and during this time I received 1 more submission from Cynthia in Beirut, Lebanon, and my idea was this Legion of Light would be people from all over the world submitting meditations. So what I've decided to do in the interim, while we kind of just figure, I don't know, I'm not sure. I still have always wanted to do the Legion of Light, but if it's going to be, so I've decided to change the emphasis for a period of time. My highest hope would have been to do what we were doing. But I thought because I thought then I would have to step up to do the meditations every day, which I don't mind. But what I thought is maybe to do something entirely different. And now this is the 4th topic. Is what if we keep the Legion of Light going? Instead of sending them out every day, what I could do is send them out once a week. But here's the thing. During peace projects, I always have to keep the training and the learning very surface level, right? So I kind of talk about these concepts, but I don't think people really, this understanding that we are made of this consciousness and we are living in this plane where we only acknowledge we think our consciousness or who we are is this meat suit right here. We think it's our body, right? But consciousness goes through your body. So put it this way, when you take your last breath, you are going to take your last breath, you're going to leave this plane, and you are going to continue in the part of you, pure positive energy, right? Now that pure positive energy is with you right now. It's literally in you right now. That gorgeousness, that sweet euphoric, it's beyond euphoric. When you hear the near-death experiences, when you hear people talk about near-death experiences, they always come back and they say, it's unexplainable. It's ineffable. The love was intense. It was amazing. I can't explain how big the love was. Okay, that big love is in you right now, right? And that we're living in this culture that is basically telling us that we're just this, right? and then we're ignoring it. So imagine like the biggest part of you, the most gorgeousness of you is there for the plucking, and we're walking around like identifying with our body. So imagine it's like the teeny tiny little part of your left nail is like what we're identifying with when we're really this huge state of awareness. And so my theory is, the reason why I keep pushing on this for 30 years, why am I constantly trying to teach people about the invisible and about the gorgeousness within them and the fabulousness within them, even though people are not usually taught that. Someone sent me an article recently about substance abuse. And by the time you read this article, you're kind of like, oh my gosh, how are we even surviving as a society? And as I say this, I know many of you are probably have a family member, a fellow employee, people around you struggling with addiction, okay? Whether it's drugs, it could be food, it could be alcohol, it could be gaming, it could be, it doesn't matter. We have this nervous system, and we have ingeniously found our way to find the gorgeousness anywhere else but where it is, and that's inside of us. And so that's why we're getting addicted. We're trying to find the space. We're trying to fill that gorgeousness with these substances, with these behaviors. And so I find that really fascinating, because it shows us that deep down, we know we're meant to feel fabulous. We know that we are supposed to feel good. And so that's why often when people end up with real challenges where their lives fall apart due to substance abuse, on a very deep level, that person knew that they weren't supposed to be feeling the way they were, that their nervous system was not in the right place for their divine inheritance. And so my intention, so for years, I'm constantly trying to invite people to find the gorgeousness within. And, people usually just go, oh, isn't she cute? There she is talking about that love and light again. But those of you who had a serious mystical experience, which we're actually going to now start measuring in future projects, that this love is not it's not a Hallmark love. It's not a Hallmark card, sappy little surface little love. This love can knock you over. It's that palpable. It's that real. Spaciousness and gorgeousness is available to all of us. And there's no one who's special enough that could not connect to this amazingness within us. No, it doesn't matter what your economic level is. It doesn't matter what your education level is. It doesn't matter what the color of your skin is. It doesn't matter. Who we are is this divine inheritance. And I don't know. I'm living gorgeousness on the inside. I have challenges just the way everybody else does, but the sweetness just keeps getting better. Often I live in a state of exquisite spaciousness. This is the best way to put it. So my point is that this is capable for all of us. And so what I'm thinking is what I'd like to start doing is maybe I'll send out a new meditation every Sunday. And it's still going to be in the Resonant Peaceful City styles, meditation protocol style. We make sure that we get you a state change in 20 minutes. But I'm going to start pulling apart, why are you getting that state change? What is higher consciousness? How can you start to really just not make it just on your meditation cushion, but how can you live in exquisite spaciousness all the time? Even when you're going through your most biggest challenges, right? So that sweetness stays real close, and you just kind of know that you're this soul on this earth path, and you're just like, yep, today's another day in earth school, getting my butt kicked. But there's this spaciousness, and we're constantly, and when we learn how to work the program and to really have the challenges come up so that we fall up into consciousness, we fall up into the sweetness of who we really are, because that's really what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be upscaling. In fact, if you look at the psychological literature, there's something called post-traumatic growth. What that means is people are happier after enduring problems than before, okay? And so we've all had that experience, right, where something seems really horrible at the time, and then later on, you realize what really happens is we get a portion of our soul embedded back into our system, and we're able to see things more clearer, and we up level, right? We work from a higher level. So here's what I'm proposing is that every Sunday, I will send you a new meditation that's still going to be bathing the globe. So I'd love to have you be bathing the globe every day as a legion together. But I'll also be isolating concepts and topics regarding consciousness, okay? Because what's happening is we're looking out over our eyes and we're missing the big picture, which is right here, right? So I'm going to teach you on how to attend back into yourself, how to move your, what I call your locus of power or your locus of awareness, how to move that in a highly, highly skilled way so that you can be highly skilled at moving your consciousness. You see, that's kind of the only reason why I've had the resilience and wherewithal to keep going like this is because I was born with this heightened awareness of where my consciousness is parked and what is the result I'm getting from that consciousness. And what I found is by teaching that very skill, it completely empowers people, and people no longer feel victimized by so nearly as bad as by what is happening to us in life. Okay. So those are the skills. I'm going to start a week from tomorrow. So tomorrow is September 10th. So it's at September 17th, 18th. And each week I'll be, watch the little video and do the meditation for the week and then practice, okay, all week long. So next week we're going to talk about your locus of power, your locus of awareness. And then all week long, I'm going to have you becoming aware of where is your locus of awareness, right? And we'll talk about what that means. All right. Thank you all so much for being patient. We're grassroots. We work on a shoestring. It's just what we do. It's how we do. It's how we have to roll. And so if you could just understand and, I always wish things could roll. I wish that we had more funding to do more because you can tell I would love to do more. But anyways, with the smog, we'd love to get some help. And what was the other thing? With how police data is gathered. We'd love to get some help on that as well. Enjoy Cynthia's new meditation. She's from Beirut, Lebanon, so she was a big fave when we were rolling it out the first time. She'll go out tomorrow. Fingers crossed. I tested it already. Should work just fine. Tomorrow you should be getting your text and your Cynthia's meditation, which I'll edit now. All right. Thank you all so much. I look forward to working with you all in the future. And please just stay in the loops to keep practicing, keep following up. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.